Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. In case this is your first time here, kindly subscribe, like and comment accordingly, and of course stay tuned for more interesting packages on different topics in music. Here we discuss important topics in music, and I always try to make the class interactive as much as possible. I have done a lot of videos in the past bordering on the rudimentary aspects of music, like music notation, accidentals, and elements of music, so you may go back to check these videos. Alright, our topic today is scale. So in this class, our inquiries will be on the following questions. How would you describe a musical scale? Do you think the musical scale is limited to the major and minor scales? How would you tell the difference between the scale types? And what is the relevance of scale to music creation? In this class, we're going to find answers to these questions. Alright, what is a scale? Okay, no, that's not true. A scale is a group of pitches in ascending or descending order. You see, it was derived from the Latin word scala, which means ladder, and it is so because of the way the note moves. It's as if you're climbing a ladder from the first rung to the last one. You see, you go gradually as you climb up, and that is the way the notes move up gradually, as if you are climbing a ladder. And of course, if you are descending also, it's just like you are climbing down the ladder, so the notes go down gradually until you get to the first one again. Alright, how would you describe a scale? You see, every melody or harmony is usually built around a collection of pitches. Every music or every melody is usually built around many pitches. Therefore, you can extract a scale from any song or from any music when you gather up its unique pitches, right? You can extract a scale from any song when you gather up all its unique pitches, no matter how many times the pitch appears. Now we have an example here. It's a popular song and we want to extract the scale. Alright, so we have C, though it appears twice, alright? So we just have to pick that. G, we have A, and we have the upper C, right? So those are the unique pitches, right? And we are having a new pitch here, which is B, again F here. So we have E is also a new pitch here. E appears twice here. So this second one is immaterial. So we have another pitch, which is D, right? So we have C again. We've seen C. Do we have any other new pitch here? G, of course, G is up here. F, we've seen F. E is there already. D is there already. G, of course, F, G, A, they are all there. E, D, and C. Alright, so let's see how many pitches do we have here. So we have C, we have G, the top C, B, F, E, D. So when we rearrange this, so we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So now, what are the pitch collections in the previous song? We have them arranged in this order: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. Alright, so that's what we have when we rearrange the notes to get the unique pitches in it, regardless of how many times they appear, right? You can call C in this case the first, because it forms the tonal center of the music. That is, all other pitches pull towards C, right? That's why it is the tonal center, and it is number 1 in the scale, right? And D is number 2, number 3 is E, and so on and so forth. So you see that upper C is number 8. The distance between the first C and the last C is 8, and that's an octave, right? So you can notate it this way. You can also notate it using the solfeggio method. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? So do is the tonic, C is do in this case, because every other pitches in the scale pull towards it, right? Is the tonal center, is the home. Technically, these are the names, right? Okay, I've explained what tonic is. Every other note in the scale pull towards it, right? Re is the supertonic note of the scale. in this context is D. You can also notate it as 2. Now, Mi is the mediant because it lies midway between the tonic and the dominant. That's why it's called a mediant. So it's midway. Now, subdominant. When you look at the scale from the octave, you see that the 4th note of the scale look like the 5th note. When you look at it from this guy, you see that this note is the 5th degree, right? Like the 5th from the octave, right? So that's why it's called subdominant, right? Dominant is the 5th note from the tonic. In the medieval period, 2 pitches are very important in music, and they are the tonic and the dominant. So dominant is the 5th note, and it is so the tonic suffer, right? Now, submediant, just like subdominant, when you look at the note from the octave, you'll see that submediant, just like the 3rd from the octave, just like mediant is the 3rd from the tonic, right? That is, if you read it forward, is the 3rd from the tonic. Submediant is the 3rd from the octave. Now, leading note is a semitone to the whole note, which is the tonic, right? Is the semitone to the tonic. So it means C here is also the tonic, right? So leading note is just a semitone. If you are in doubt, just check my video on accidental. The distance between B and C is a semitone. So leading note is a small ride into the tonic. So it's leading home. So you see the scale in ascending or in descending form. Now, do you think the musical scale is limited to the one in the previous slide? Of course, no. Now, the obtainable pitch collection in a piece of music helps to give the music a distinctive feel. And the pitch collection of music spreads across different cultures of the world. So definitely that can be the only kind of scale we have in the whole world. When we have different cultures and we have different fields of music, you can express like in a happy mood, or your music can portray sadness. And that's why we have numerous kind of skills. All right, so there are many kinds of skills, right? So it's not really limited to the one we've discussed in the previous slide. So there are different kind of skills, but we're going to discuss 3 of them here. So we have the diatonic scale, the pentatonic scale, and the chromatic scale. A diatonic scale has notes which make up an octave containing 5 tones and 2 semitones. That is 5 whole tones and 2 half tones. So we're going to get the concepts of these half tones and whole tones as time goes on. So examples of these scales are the major and the minor scale. So major scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So on the minor scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So they don't have the same feel. That's a major scale. And the minor scale don't have the same feel. Obviously, when you look at these 2 scales, they are very much alike. They're not the same, of course, in how they feel, right? Like I demonstrated the other time, how they sound. But let's look at what makes the difference. So you see, in the major scale, the distance between a note and the next one is the whole note, right? We also have semitones here, or half notes here. So between the 3rd and the 4th note of the scale, you have a semitone. That's mi, fa, right? And the 7th and the 8th notes also have the semitone. But let's look at the arrangement in minor scale. You have semitone here. You also have semitone between E and F at all time, right? So you see, in major scale, you have semitone between the 3rd and the 4th note of the scale, and of course semitone again between the 7th and the 8th note of the scale. But in the minor scale, you rather have semitone between the 2nd and the 3rd note of the scale, and between the 5th and the 6th note of the scale, right? So that pattern gives the music a new feel, right? Pentatonic scale, from the word penta, like pentagon, 5-sided polygon, right? Penta, it has to do with 5. So pentatonic is a 5-note scale. So it means 5 pitches are combined to form this scale, right? So you may have them, of course, in a repeated order in the music, but at the end of the day, you just have 5 unique pitches in the music. So that is a pentatonic scale. For example, in the first one, you say C, D, E, G, and A. Alright, so and we have C, D, F, G, A. Alright, one thing that you can pick out from these two is the fact that they don't have a semitone. So you don't have the T, Do feel, right? Just like you have in the diatonic scale. You don't have it here. Chromatic scale, from the word chroma, color, right? So a chromatic scale contains 12 half tones. For instance, you get a chromatic scale within an octave when you play all the pitches from C to the upper C, right? So you see, you play both white and black keys, and that's where the name comes from. Chromatic, colored. You're playing black and white keys, right? So when you play the white and the black keys on the keyboard, you're playing the chromatic scale, or you're playing the colored scale, right? So you have C chromatic scale here. So it means you can build chromatic scale on any musical letter, right? Or we just built it on C here, right? So we have, so you have all the pitches from C to the upper C, right? So that is the chromatic scale. And one important thing you should note here is that they move in semitones, right? The interval between a note and the next is semitone. So you have the interval of a semitone between them, right? Okay, and it's calibrated in such a way to the end of the scale, right? So the interval between every pitch of a chromatic scale is semitone, right?